Hi, I'm Rob from Skid Steer Solutions, and today I'm in the warehouse with some innovative lifting attachments from Vacuworx. Vacuum lifting attachments are becoming very popular in this industry, and it's easy to see why. Vacuworx attachments allow you to lift heavy items safer, faster, and more effectively. Here we have the CM3 model, which adapts easily to multiple applications and machines. The CM3 is constructed of both steel and aluminum to give you the highest possible lifting capacity at the lowest weight. This model is great for larger skid steers and other track loaders that need to lift concrete slabs, steel plates, pipe, and other materials. The CM3 weighs about as much as a standard bucket, so there's no real change in the lift capacity of your machine. The CM3 comes with quick connect hydraulic hoses and factory set flow control valves to ensure optimal performance on any machine. Unlike the SL2 model, the CM3 can accommodate single or double pad configurations to lift a wider range of weights and sizes. This model also features an adjustable spreader bar for the double pads in order to extend from 61 inches to 85 inches for wider loads. Because the CM3 has removable legs, it stores very easily. It weighs in at 499 pounds and is 71 inches long, 31.5 inches high, and 40 inches wide. Be sure to give us a call or visit our website to learn more about parts and accessories for the CM3. Another thing that I really like about this attachment is that it's not only a skid steer attachment. I can pull the pins off of this, hook onto this eye on the top here, and now I can put it on a crane or an excavator, and it becomes a whole other use because I can put it on there and I can do other things with it. So again, another reason why Vacuworx attachments are incredibly adaptable. Now that we've covered the features and benefits of the CM3, let's get in the machine and I'll just show you a few things about how to operate it. First thing you're going to notice is it comes with a small little remote control. This allows you to work from inside the cab of any machine without having to have special wiring or anything to be able to operate it. It contains a battery, a self-contained system with a rechargeable battery and switch. You turn that on and now that it's all ready to go to work. We connect up with standard 1/2-inch flat face couplers and a case drain, and that's all that's needed. So there's no electrical connection between the machine and the attachment. Before, when we used to use a magnet, there was no indicator on it to tell us that it was actually holding the metal. And so every once in a while we'd get an accidental drop. And that can happen just because on a magnet it picks up small pieces of material and holds the plate a little bit away from it. So without actually looking at it every time you go to pick up something, you're never sure. But with these gauges installed, you can see exactly what the unit is doing. And in fact, you can turn off the machine and it'll still hold the material up without any indication that it's going to drop it. And that's a really good sign when you're working with an attachment like this, because you definitely don't want to drop anything that you're working on accidentally. So all we have to do now is fire up the machine, turn on the hydraulics, apply pressure to the unit so it sucks it up, and it's going to pick up the material, and off we go. Okay, so what you're going to notice here is I've got a remote control. It's two-handed operation. So what I'm going to do is turn on my hydraulics. You'll hear the pump start up, but it won't actually engage until I hit two buttons at the same time. Same thing goes for when I want to release. And this is so I don't accidentally put it in my pocket, bump it, and drop the load that I'm carrying. So they've really thought about safety when it comes to this attachment, and we're really happy that they've done that, because you definitely don't want to drop a 1,000-pound plate of steel, or this actually is capable of lifting 6,600 pounds. You don't want to drop what's equivalent to a pickup truck when you're picking up something like this. So it's really good that you've got an indicator here, as well as you can't accidentally drop the load. So here we go. Start up, turn on my hydraulics. You hear the pump fire up. I lower down, just apply a little bit of pressure. Now I can watch the gauge. There's a gauge on the front so somebody can see that. There's a gauge on the back. That's showing me how much vacuum that I'm developing. When I get into the green zone, that tells me it's safe to lift. It only takes a few seconds. Okay, so right now I'm in the zone. No risk of dropping. Now watch this. I can turn it off and it maintains suction. I can watch that gauge and the gauge doesn't move. That's how well designed this attachment is. The pads are absolutely perfect. If the pads wear to a point where you do start to see a little bit of leakage, it's very inexpensive to change out the seals and just carry on with the job. So your downtime is absolute minimal if you do happen to damage it, if you cut it or something. But you always have an indication. So when I go to lower down and pick up, if all of a sudden I don't have any suction on there, I can't develop any vacuum, I can tell right away, hey, I've got a problem here and I need to have a look at it. But any parts that I do need are so inexpensive because the wear part is just a rubber seal. So I'm sitting here watching it now. The machine's off. There's no hydraulics operating. There's the battery is running inside the machine here. However, I can turn that off and it's still going to maintain suction. Now what I want to do is if I want to drop this, I'm not going to drop it on the ground here. I'll lower it down a little bit. Just a little bit so you can see when it comes disconnected. When I want to disconnect it now, okay, it's relieving and there we go. Okay, and it took it all the way to the bottom. So if you were able to see the gauge, it's almost all the way to the very end before it actually loses enough pressure to break the seal. So again, there's a huge range in here. So even if something did happen when you're moving something or whatever and you see that you've lost suction, it gives you plenty of time to get the attachment or the item down on close to the ground so that you don't actually drop it. So we absolutely love this for moving steel. Like I said, we used to have a magnet and we've had a few close calls with that. Now we have a Vacuworx system. We've got other ones that we're going to be using around in the shop that we'll show you in other videos. So have a look around and I'm sure we've got a Vacuworx product that will suit your needs. Now that I've shown you the CM3, you can find other valuable Vacuworx attachments on our website, skidsteersolutions.com.